Dr. John Paul Kaisam, spoke about the critical role of measurement in national development, noting that measurement is the bedrock for fairness and quality in every society.
Our path has been one of resilience. We have confronted infrastructural gaps, navigated resources constraints, and rallied stakeholders to organize that measurement. It's not a luxury, but a bright right of development. Yet with unwavering resolve, we have turned challenges into stepping stones.
Meanwhile, UNIDO country representative Mariatu Soare described metrology, which is the science of measurement, as a universal language of trust and a tool for empowerment, noting that the day was not only a celebration of standardization, but a reaffirmation of their commitment to the principles of accurate measurement.
And as UNIDO, we want to use this day to reaffirm our commitment to metrology, the science of measurements, the invisible engine behind the industrial growth, innovation, fair trade, and equality of life. Metrology is the constant guardian of progress. National and international trade increasingly require a demonstrated conformity to written standards and specification and mutual recognition of measurements and tests.
Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, Madam Fatmata Kamara, commended the strides made by the Standards Bureau and reaffirmed the government's commitment to modernizing its institutions. She said government was transforming the Sierra Leone Standards Bureau and upholding a robust measurement system.
Measurements for all people and picture this. Even since utero, when we were inside the womb of our mothers, the babies go through measurement, right? Otherwise, if there is something that the doctor detects that the size of this fetus is too small or too big, it tells us that what? There is a pending problem. So this tells you the importance of measurement.
World Meteorology Day serves as a global reminder of the importance of measurement in every aspect of life, from health and safety to climate change and international trade. For SLBC News, Esther Suzanette Bassi reporting.
Well, it has been 40 years for the Freetown Players, one of Freetown's most outstanding theatre groups. The group rose to the rank and fame in the 1980s, entertaining audiences, and succeeded in expanding the role of theatre from just entertainment to an effective tool for information and education. Our reporter Christina Kama witnessed the 40th anniversary celebration at the National Peace Museum and sent in this report.
The celebration held at the National Peace Museum brought together artists, journalists, and cultural fans to reflect on 4 decades of impactful performances and social advocacy. Founded in 1985, the Freetown Players have been instrumental in using theatre as a medium for education, awareness, and community engagement. According to the founder of Freetown Players, Charlie Amfna, their goal is to not only celebrate their past, but also to inspire the youth to come on board in promoting cultural expression and social change. He said they wanted them to understand the power of performing arts in addressing social issues of fostering unity within their communities.
As a performance group, first of all, what we set up for us, I say, for raise the level of theatre in this country. First thing, I be just amateur. Who sit down, they look one play, they laugh, they do all things done. But we come 1985 for reform that function. We try for now to introduce theatre as a tool for information, for communication, for education, sensitization when a new one comes around the world time.
The event featured series of local songs and performance that highlighted the group's journey. The audience was treated to a lively display of talent in bridging the gap between generations. A young performer, Fatou Sise, said being a member of the Freetown Players means a lot to her, noting it is amazing to see how theater can make a difference and bring people together through edutainment, sensitization and performance in the form of drama, songs and traditional dance.
The benefits where possible get for joining Freetown Players and learn the history then now. You were able to know like the difference way then from how we country we did before and how we did now. They see a lot of changes to happen and for putting them there where we live for win back where we actually help we as a nation.
The anniversary celebration included workshops aimed at educating young artists about the importance of cultural expression and the role of theater in social change. The Freetown Players are committed to empowering the next generation of performers and ensuring that their message continues to resonate. Slbc News in Freetown, Christiana Kamara reporting.
Well, still with stories on celebration, the Legal Aid Board has celebrated its 10th anniversary with a series of activities, including a football gala that also featured the Slbc. While in 10 years, the board's first and current executive director, Fatimata Claire Carlton Hansels, says the institution has made a lot of achievement and also outlined a number of challenges. She was on a Good Morning Sierra Leone show and spoke more to my colleagues Emmanuel Samoa and Esther Saku. Let's hear from her.
We thank God. It has not been easy. It's a roller coaster. Because to pick an organization just from Parliament, they act as it is on a piece of paper, and to give flesh and blood to it, and to put it nationwide, and for it to be a household name, I am humbled. I've given legal aid to over 2 million Sierra Leoneans, and that is record number. We have won dozens of awards. We're in all districts. We track the Black Maria. We help with the high courts, and we do a lot of civil matters for women and children. At least now, even in the districts and in some of the chiefdoms, women have somewhere where they can go, especially when they suffer issues with their husbands or their relatives, or children have somewhere to go. And so it's been good that we went to Parliament last week, and it was heartening to hear parliamentarians say in their constituencies, people don't even now take witch gun, juju, sasa, they go to legal aid board offices. And the essence of the legal aid is, it's a beautiful act which has been enacted by a lot of countries around the world, including Sierra Leone. It gives legal education, legal representation. It solves community level problems. It looks at issues from the family to the home, to the community, to the courts. So we're in the local courts, we're in the general courts, we're in the high courts, we're in the magistrates courts. And it's been an opportunity because Sierra Leone enacted it after the TRC report. When the special court came and the TRC, the people who appeared said a lot of people took up arms because there was no justice. They had nobody who would represent them. They had no institution they could go complain to. So it was enacted in 2015, and this time we are 10 years. And in 10 years, we've been invited by the General Assembly of the United Nations, only supporting the President, to go and address at a side meeting to explain to members in the General Assembly how Sierra Leone did it, because it's a fragile state. Also, the World Bank has invited us in Washington at the global meeting, and we chaired 2 sessions. And in that meeting, they published a study done on Sierra Leone Legal Aid Board as one of the most cost-effective, efficient schemes in the world. So we are there in the communities for people men who don't provide maintenance, man they need put of money, people they will need to take care of woman self with their involvement, property issues, somebody dies, people are trying to take the property from the rightful owner, and also in the courts, those who are doing the serious crimes, like robbery, aggravation, murder, treason, all these things. We're working with the army, we did the court martial as part of the representation. We even got somebody to be discharged from that trial. We are also in the local courts.
Well, she's Fatimata Claire Carlton Hansels, Executive Director, Legal Aid Board. Well, to one of our headline stories, President Julius Malabio has commissioned a solar plant in Moyamba Township. The plant will connect over 3,000 households as they will be having 24 hours electricity to the town for the first time in 40 years. Let's now join our senior state house correspondent, Hamasi.
Malabio said the event is a significant milestone in the country's journey towards sustainable energy because without affordable and sustainable energy, the country's aspiration for economic growth and human capital development will remain unfulfilled.
Moyamba is one of the two district headquarters towns that could not be easily connected. Without no calculation, we are going to do major lines. And the one way they know, the CLSG, did not get for passing here. And so to cater for that, we have decided to put in this particular, take care of Moyamba town. When I say Moyamba are always the first district, it has to be the first because when they produce very good children. Because the CLSG, we, Dr. Yonkala talked about, not a partner at all not, we decide say, would not be the first, forget the solar, stand alone. This project is, of course, another good example of the collaboration between government and its development partners.
He thanked all those who made the projects possible: World Bank, UNOPS, African Development Bank, and Japan International Cooperation Agency. The president said the Moyamba solar plant serves as a pilot initiative that will be replicable in other district headquarter towns, as they want to ensure that many districts and chiefdoms headquarter towns gain access to reliable electricity.
Access to energy is a human right. It is a critical enabler for human development, especially in the 21st century. Reliable electricity has the potential to serve as a catalyst for business growth, foster entrepreneurship, enhance education and healthcare services, and improve the overall quality of life for our citizens.
UNOPS West African Director Sylvia Gallo commended President Bio for his unwavering commitment to sustainable and reliable electricity in Sierra Leone.
This solar power plant is a testament to the unwavering commitment to change this narrative and empower communities. Standing here as UNOPS Director for West Africa, I'm really proud to witness integration of renewable energy in Moyamba. This solar power plant is a symbol of the determination to harness sound, abundant energy. This new source of energy will unlock opportunities that were previously unattainable. Students will be empowered to study under bright lights. Businesses will thrive with reliable energy, and health facilities will operate with greater efficiency, delivering essential services to those in need.
Senior energy specialist at the World Bank, Kangbaikpa Paul Kukibi, said the World Bank is committed to supporting both of grid and stand-alone solar systems, particularly in schools and healthcare facilities nationwide. Chairman of the Presidential Initiative of Climate Change, Renewable Energy and Food Security, Dr. Kande Koleyum Kela, said there is no quick fix in energy challenges anywhere in the world. Describing the Moyamba project as a pilot phase of the border initiative to electricity 7 districts by replacing diesel power with clean solar energy.
This project is important not only because, as the Moyamba people, they don't say important to the pilots. We get other big projects around the country, but this one unique. President been already with predecessors then at the ministry, don't start the 7 towns project for light up 7 towns, but now with diesel generator then. We realize the diesel costly. Before we reach the Bokudon loss. So this is not the first case. Oh, they take 1 ton. So they converse with President last year. Say, can they say that fuel they reach? He said, I'm not saying we're not able to afford an answer. He said, why we're not solarize? He said, that project will be done in Moyamba, I want more. So this is an important project for us, and Mr. President, several partners, EU, our other partners, the Germans, everybody is studying this one. Replacing diesel with solar power, over time reducing cost, but also we're checking the access rate. For example, here in Moyamba, already about 446 meters have been installed, but we're supposed to reach 3,000.
Solar energy, also known as solar power, is the radiant energy from the sunlight and heat. It's a renewable energy source that can be harnessed using various technologies with solar panels. For Slbc TV News, I, in Kayamba Chiefdom, who am also reporting from Moyamba districts.
Well, as a way to complement government agenda of youth empowerment, the Children's Advocacy Forum, in partnership with Center for Accountability and Sustainable Empowerment, has trained over 200 youth in the Western Area Urban on leadership and entrepreneurship. The exclusive training, known as Boot Camp, spanned for 4 days at the Waza community and was part of the Social Equity Program funded by Zurich Foundation for the so-called underserved youth across the country. Let's hear more from Sori Kama.
The 4-day training or boot camp focused on entrepreneurship, leadership, innovation, and mental well-being skills for 250 young people in the Western Area Urban. The exercise emphasized the basics of starting and running a business. The participants sounded both determined and optimistic about the prospects of being able to start and run their own businesses.
As for me, I want to be a seamstress. Now I'm doing currently. I want to learn more ideas how to start my own business, because I want to be a seamstress, but I don't know how to start my own business.
And when I follow the theme of the program, make me more interesting than it was. It's all about entrepreneurship, and it's very important for young people coming up, because it's more about business skills, strategy, how to go about your business. It helps you to have the basic idea, even if you want to start your business, where should you start and where should you end, and how to talk to customers, business skills. Even if you want to open a shop in this community, you must know the wants of the people before opening a shop. I will not just come and say I'm going to open a salon when there are so many salons around the community.
For me to learn more about leadership, because business is also about leadership. If me, the CEO, I don't have any leadership quality, it will affect my business also.
The project will jointly be implemented by the Children Advocacy Forum, CAF Sierra Leone, and the Center for Accountability and Sustainable Empowerment, Case Salon, in collaboration with the Junior Achievement Africa, with funding from the Zurich Foundation. The director of CAF, Abdul Soare, said the participants were drawn from different communities in the Western Area Urban after going through a rigorous exercise that involved market women and community stakeholders, adding that a greater number of them was drawn from Douazak, as it is the direct beneficiary of the projects and implementation area.
For Freetown, we are targeting up to 1,000. We are not the only collaborators, or we are not the only implementing partners with Case Salon. For Freetown, we have 4 organizations that are partnering with KSALON.
The initiative aimed to train 3,000 youth across the country in entrepreneurship and adolescence. Executive Director of KSALON, Mariama Kunate, said the intervention was designed for young school leavers, university students, and unemployed graduates to equip them with entrepreneurial skills and to start and run their own businesses, as well as make them competitive job seekers. After all the trainings or boot camps in the targeted districts, including McKinney and Bow, Madam Kunate said they would also provide business capital to the group or groups that come up with the best business idea and an opportunity to represent Sierra Leone abroad.
The first selection of 10 group idea, we actually give them $500 each group for their efforts. So out of the 10 group, the first winner, we end up getting $3,000, the second $2,000, the third $1,000. So when we are fortunate to at least be chosen from Sierra Leone to represent us out there, when you get there, if you are the winner there, your group will win $5,000.
This initiative is part of a continent-wide commitment to social equity, with the primary goal of training young Sierra Leoneans between the ages of 16 to 25 to thrive as both innovative job creators and highly competitive job seekers. Sui Kamara, SLBC News, Freetown.
Secretary of the Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Technology, Stevenson Kamanda, has said that the computer system framework for public digital services was key in shaping the effective government's strategies. It was also meant to break down the walls that separate public institutions through a connected government that provides better services. Dennis Fraser witnessed the final validation visibility study on the framework at the New Brookfield Hotel in Freetown.
I want to acknowledge us that this document should not just be for admiration purpose, but a foundation to act on.
Speaking on the theme, Unified Systems for Efficient Public Service, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Communications, Technology and Innovation, Stevenson Kamanda, said the country will leverage on modern technology in order to attain the level of digital upgrading it desires. He said that the validation process also presented a comprehensive roadmap on how government will work together to implement the study findings.
This report is not just about technology. It is about people. It is about ensuring that the citizen does not have to repeat the same information at every moment, at every government office. It is about allowing our institutions, whether in health, education, registration of finance, to collaborate, coordinate, and deliver with greater speed, transparency, and impact.
According to the Chief Director, Mohamed Jallo, the vision was deep-rooted in a seamless system in which information could be collected once, but could be used in any part of the country. He went on that through such systems, vital information could be made visible to the states for enhanced service delivery.
Let me illustrate this with a practical example. A national ID system that is interoperable with the health, education and civil registration system means a child born in any part of the country is immediately visible to the state, enabling automatic enrollment in school, health coverage, feature social protection programs, creating a digital identity that supports lifelong service delivery.
During the group deliberations, other speakers, including the consultants, said the framework will enhance transparency, reduce corruption, and give a blueprint to build a unified data and public service.
Why can't this information be exchanged seamlessly without the user going here and going there again? I mean, these are government agencies. If you need to share information, the user should just continue the process automatically from the other end.
However, some of the recommendations in the findings presented for final validation included to put in place regulations on national data governance, like data sharing on computer systems across government agencies and government digital public platforms, among others. SLBC, Dennis Fraser reporting.
The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Alpha Sisi, alongside the Minister of Internal Affairs and the Deputy Minister of Finance too, has participated in the 30th Ministerial Committee meeting of the Intergovernmental Action Group Against Money Laundering in West Africa, Djaba, in Senegal. During his opening remarks, Djaba's Director General, Edwin Harris, said as the institution celebrates its Silver Jubilee, they have made efforts to champion financial accountability. He assured of working towards peace, regional security and prosperity for all ECOWAS citizens. It is held twice a year to encourage discussions between technical experts from the member states on the threats and challenges related to the fight against money laundering and financing of terrorism in the sub-region. The GMC is a supreme political decision-making organ of Djaba. It comprises the 3 Djaba line ministers from all member states: Ministry of Finance, Security, Interior and Justice. They reviewed and adopt, among others, the semi-annual activity report of the Director General for the period November 2024 to May 2025. Well, if you're just joining us, this is News coming to you live from Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. We'll continue with more stories. The International Aid and Cooperation Manager, European Union, has stated that the National People's Convergence on Local Governance and Policy Dialogue is a testament of ActionAid and it partners to enhance governance and development in local communities. Julius Fode was speaking at a 2-day National People's Convergence on Local Governance and Policy Dialogue in Bo City. Let's now join our reporter from Bo, Thomas Neal, as he sent in the story read in the studio by Ibrahim Sabra.
Enhancing civil society partnership in governance and national level policy process in Sierra Leone is a 2.5-year project implemented in Bo, Bombali, and Kono districts by ActionAid Sierra Leone as lead and the Women's Action for Human Dignity and the Advocate for Social Justice and Development. The International Aid and Cooperation Manager, European Union, Julius Fode, said service delivery, policy formulation and analysis involve various initiatives, transparent arrangements and rules that determine how actors are responsible for the decisions and the quality of services in a defined written framework. He said everyone expects good policy implementation, but not everyone is willing to discuss an enforcement mechanism. Executive Director ActionAid Sierra Leone Fode Basi Soare said the project is part of his organization and partners' contribution to the development agenda of the country. He thanked the European Union for their commitment and support to strengthen the civil society's capacity in the country. Director NGO Affairs, Minister of Planning and Economic Development, Eric Mansali, said government considered ActionAid Sierra Leone as a critical actor in the actualization of the medium-term national development 2024 to 2030 and commended them for bringing together key stakeholders to engage in dialogue on strengthening local governance systems and shaping effective policy framework. Highlight of the 2-day event was the presentation and analysis of consolidated policy brief by the consultant Gerard Alexise. This overall objective of the project is to strengthen the capacity of civil societies in the targeted districts.
Maritime security exercise Obangami Express 2025 have officially come to a close. The ceremony marking the end of the intensive drills was held at the Navy canteen in Freetown, bringing together senior naval officers, international partners, and participants from across the Gulf of Guinea. Esther Nenekama report and read by Esther Sako.
The closing ceremony of the Obangami Express 2025 signaled the successful completion of weeks of coordinated maritime exercises aimed at boosting security and cooperation
along the West African coast. Hosted at the Navy Canteen in Freetown, the event drew representatives from participating navies, including those of Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, and the United States. Organized under the leadership of the United States Africa Command, AFRICOM, Obangame Express is a flagship maritime exercise designed to enhance regional collaboration, improve maritime domain awareness, and develop the tactical skills needed to combat illicit activities at sea, such as piracy, illegal fishing, and smuggling. In his closing remarks, a representative of the Chief of Defense Staff of the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces (ASLAF), Brigadier General Sir David Gauja, applauded the commitment of seamen and women in the Navy, noting that the exercise not only fostered military cooperation but also contributed significantly to maritime safety and regional stability.
Together, the Gulf of Guinea nations and international partners are improving maritime safety and security of individual coastal states, the region, and the global maritime space in general. Sierra Leone is among the more than 20 participating African coastal states of this year's Obangame exercise, which marks the ninth series since 2017 that our country has actively participated in this annual regional event.
The U.S. Embassy's representative, Lieutenant John Clee, also praised the professionalism and dedication displayed by all participants, reaffirming America's support for capacity-building efforts in the Gulf of Guinea.
Whether it's search and rescue, stopping illegal fishing, countering drug trafficking, or deterring piracy, your ability to communicate and connect together makes the difference. It's the difference between response and reaction, success and tragedy.
Certificates and gifts were awarded to participants and partners for successfully completing the training. As the events concluded, it was evident that the Obangame Express 2025 had once again succeeded in reinforcing partnerships and laying the groundwork for a more secure maritime environment in West Africa.
Approved Justice Fatata Bintu Alhadi following an appointment to the Supreme Court of Sierra Leone. The former appeal court judge has over 2 decades of legal standing, and she's the only female judge currently sitting in the Supreme Court. Dennis Fraser report.
The 11th report of the second section of the 6th Parliament of the Committee on Appointments and the Public Service be adopted by the House, and that the recommendations contained therein be approved. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Members of Parliament given the green light for Justice Fatmata Bintu Al-Adi to sit as a judge in the highest court of the land. This was coming following a recommendation by the Judicial and Legal Service Commission and in line with the Constitution. Presenting the nominee preceding her approval, leader of government business who doubles as the chairman of the Committee on Appointments, Honorable Matthew Sanyuma, said the nominee has had a proven track record and a prestigious career in legal and corporate sector, which has made many to describe her appointment as a deep commitment to justice delivery with integrity. In the debates leading up to her approval, legislators across the political divide showered praises on the nominee with admiration for her solid blueprint in the legal and corporate sector. But this did not prevent them from calling for reforms to be made to our dynamic and sensitive organ of the state, the judiciary.
The approval is not a mistake. Our approval is not a mistake. Normally they ask, where are the women that we need? We always advocate for women. Today there's one. We have got one that we are proud of. Under the justice, this caucus will give you all the support you need.
We must ensure
that the people who administer justice feel comfortable. Because when she said yesterday, he said what you see in the chambers of the courts are just me giving orders. He said, well, the actual job is done at night and in my chambers. That shows they're giving up themselves for the justice of other people. Therefore, they must be treated well by the society.
Justice Fatmata Bintu Al-Adi is a legal practitioner of no mean standing in the legal and corporate world. She's also a lecturer at the Sierra Leone Law School. She has climbed through the ranks in the justice system, from the High Court, Court of Appeal, and now the Supreme Court. Her approval in the well came with visible support from the very senior members of the judiciary, including the Chief Justice, Combat Commander, accompanying her. The presence of very senior members of the judiciary also demonstrated the synergy between the legislature and the judiciary, and they are poised for their contribution to national development. SLBC, Dennis Fraser reporting.
In a display of unity and purpose, the Ministry of Health, in partnership with development agencies, civil society group and health professionals from across Sierra Leone, has hosted a 3-day National Health Summit and Performance Award dinner on the theme Improving Health Outcomes for All, Every Sierra Leonean Life Matters. As Joran Dumbuya report, the event celebrates the milestone, the tackle sector-wide challenges, and honored frontline health workers, those dedicated, whose dedication continues to save lives.
At the heart of the summit was a renewed commitment to strengthen Sierra Leone's health system through collaboration, transparency, and community-driven strategies. The gathering brought together a cross-section of stakeholders, from policymakers to nurses and medical superintendents, who reflected on the steps made since the last summit and charted the path forward. Speaking at the ceremony, the Minister of Health described the summit not just as a routine gathering, but as a vital platform for reflection and recommitment. He highlighted notable achievements in reducing maternal and child mortality, thanks to stronger coordination and resource sharing.
So we're looking forward to an aid memoir that will come out of this summit that will say specifically what the issues are that we've agreed upon and what we're going to act on. As you saw, the last event during the plenaries, during the sessions today, was a commitment. You had a commitment from the government, commitment from the ministry, commitment from all of our development partners.
Central to the discussion was the adoption of the One Plan, One Budget, One Report framework, a bold step towards harmonizing the efforts of all health actors under one national vision. To recognize and encourage this approach, the ministry presented performance awards to outstanding institutions and individuals. Among the recipients was Dr. Usman Kake, medical superintendent of Bo Government Hospital, who expressed gratitude for the continued recognition of their work.
It would be pathway for healthcare in this country, some of our challenges, and the way the leadership of the Ministry of Health is working towards overcoming some of those challenges.
Also honored was Mildred Commander, senior matron at Kenema Maternal and Child Health Hospital in Freetown, who was visibly emotional as she accepted her award.
So we do give service delivery to those that matters, and all, even the less privileged, we cater for them. This is Sierra Leonean business and Mama Salon as a whole.
Other ministries and sector partners were also celebrated, including Health Alert for their contributions to improving public health, demonstrating that health is a shared responsibility. The summit concluded with a sense of purpose and renewed energy as delegates returned to their district, not just with awards, but with a stronger sense of accountability and commitment to every Sierra Leonean's life. For SLBC, Joran Dumbuya.
A new Japan Supplementary Budget project has been introduced in the health sector to improve nutrition, health and wash services, and to strengthen the delivery system in the sector. As Simone Sama reports, the project is said to benefit children under 5 and lactating mothers in districts with high food insecurity in the country. Here's the report.
Despite several efforts by government and development partners to eradicate malnutrition, but the current